It's 1969 in Boston, Massachusetts. Yesterday, all my troubles seem so far away. I'm sure you relate to that. At that time, the Beatles music was very popular. And the hippie movement had already started. No, I was not a hippie, but I did have lots of hair. After finishing my electrical engineer degree in Monterrey, Mexico, I found a job that took me to Boston for 3 years. In my younger years, I also finished high school in San Antonio, and speaking English was very useful for me to be able to communicate at least a little bit with the Bostonian people. It was a very good experience. I even was able to take a few graduate courses. However, the time went so fast that the day came that I had to return to Mexico. And when the plane took off, I said to myself, as I looked out the window, I am going to come back, and I am going to live in this country with my family. When I went to Mexico, I found a job. I met the girl of my dreams, married her, and soon we had 3 children. Life was good. And one day, I was remembering my joyful time in Boston and in Texas. And that thought awakened a dream of bringing my family to live here in the United States. And I said to myself, it is time to use the plan. You might be wondering, the plan? What is the plan? Well, the plan is an acronym that I learned from a college professor. And each letter indicates a step that puts you closer to your dream. The P is for painting a picture, a clear picture of your dream, and that gives you clarity. The L is a list. You formulate a list of activities, of events, of tasks that you need to do to achieve your dream. And the A is action. You take action on all the items that you have on your list. And the N is for nurturing your dream. And you nurture it throughout each step before you achieve your dream and after you achieve it. And I know what you think. Well, I think I know what you're thinking. That's too much work. I don't want to do all that. Well, just think about some of the dreams that you have attained. Without knowing, you probably went through some sort of a plan, and you achieved it. You're here in the United States too, and I'm sure you have attained many dreams, and you used a plan. Let me go through that plan, and to tell you how I achieved my dream of coming here. I first painted a picture of my dream very clearly. I saw a big house, beautiful house, with a swimming pool. And I imagined my kids having a wonderful time. I imagined them graduating from college and getting their college degree. And then I figured out the list that I needed to be able to achieve that dream. And that was, first of all, get a residence visa and get all the documentation and a number of things that was in that list. And then I had to do the A for the action. And the first thing that I did was to apply for a residence visa. And unfortunately, it was denied. So I applied again, and it was denied. Applied, denied, applied, denied, applied, denied, for 5 years. Can you imagine the pain that I felt every time I got a letter and I said, we deny it, and it happened one after another one. But I never gave up. I kept on going. One day, I got a letter. I didn't want to read it. I knew what it was going to say. So I gave it to Tina, my wife, and she read it. Dear Mr. Valles, stop bugging us. We don't want to hear from you anymore. She laughed at me. She was joking. So she really read the letter. Dear Mr. Valles, your application has been approved, blah, 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 blah. I picked up my wife and swung her around. I was stronger then. Then I picked up my children and sang and danced with them. Ay, 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 ay. It has been 45 years since that day. And since then, we have been nurturing our dream every single day. We became US citizens. My children graduated from college. They got married. They gave us 9 wonderful grandchildren. However, sometimes we have to climb uphill. And those are the times that it's very difficult to nurture your dream. But what happens when you stop nurturing your dream? Your dream is like a plant. If you don't nurture it, it dies. And why would you not nurture your dream? And the times that you don't nurture your dream is because you are comfortable. You settle for what you have attained, and that is the end of your dream. So why don't you instead let your plan be a never-ending plan? There will be excitement, energy, enthusiasm, but there will also be pain. However, the gain of your plan is worth your pain.